On my run this morning, I just kept thinking about how do we find ourselves in this position as a country where everything's collapsing around us? And the argument I'm about to make is not a political argument, it's actually more about common sense. To say that if you hire people in powerful positions that do not know what they're doing, you will eventually have a situation that we're facing at the moment. If you're watching the Matlanga Commission, the one thing that stands out is that people have been put in positions that they don't qualify to be in. Where we've overlooked people that are qualified, you've taken people that are your friends or that caters or they belong to a certain party and you put them in powerful positions. And because they don't know what they're doing, they've collapsed those systems. So we have a situation in South Africa where, and this is not even about color, because credibility is credibility, skills are skills. There's a lot of qualified black people in this country, a lot of qualified colored people in the country, a lot of qualified Indian people in this country, a lot of qualified white people in this country. How do we end up with all these people that are collapsing the systems that we have in South Africa, and we just act like nothing's happened? Think about our state-owned entities from Eskom. Eskom at some point was the best energy company in the world. Prasa, uh, South African Airways. You look at all these entities that at some point needed so much bailout money because people were put in positions of CEO and chairperson and all the nonsense without any form of qualifications to be in there because they were put in there because they know somebody. Until we deal with the issue of hiring people that don't qualify and focus on merit. When you hire somebody without merit, you're not doing anybody a favor. If anything, that system will eventually collapse. Because if you put somebody there with proper qualifications and proper merit, what will happen is this person will grow the company, private or public. They'll grow this company. This company will create more jobs and it will expand. And then it will be for the benefit of the country. But if you put people in there that are just cadres and they don't know what the hell they're doing, this is what you get, where we have a country that is literally just on its last foot, just barely standing, because you have law enforcement agencies that have collapsed because you put in there people that are just friends. And they're also friends with criminals, people with no morals, but they're holding positions that require the highest form of morality. So as South Africans, just look back at what has happened in the past 10, 20, 30 years. You've had situations, I'll give you an example with our higher education institutions. You have people that are hired in there that are not even South African, that come from collapsed countries, failed states. But instead of looking at South Africans that are qualified, that have been running these institutions ever since they were founded, you overlook those people. The other day I was watching a parliament situation where they're asking this person, I don't know which university it was, where in the admin department, out of 25 people, 17 of them were immigrants. Administration. So we have avoided this situation for too long, and we don't want to face it head on. It's a common sense problem. If you hire people that are not qualified, you are not doing the country a favor. That system, that company, that public company, private company, it will not succeed. And when it breaks down, people lose jobs, and then the country also loses some sort of momentum. Look at what has happened to our railway systems. Everything has collapsed around us, and now we are finding out very late that even our law enforcement has collapsed because the people that are holding those positions aren't qualified to be in there. Anyway, those are my thoughts for the day. Until then, stay safe.